Welcome to The Sauce, where we're not just talking, we're transforming. This podcast dives deep into the core of real-life issues with a fresh, Christian perspective. Hosted by Royan Mitchell, each episode of The Sauce is a deep dive into the struggles, triumphs, and everyday moments that shape our lives. We're talking about how to navigate our mental health, find hope when everything feels chaotic, and live with purpose even when the road gets tough. We keep it real, adding a sprinkle of humor and a whole lot of heart, serving up truth with a side of grace. We're here to walk with you through every twist and turn, offering insights and encouragement. So, if you're ready to embrace the flavors of life, join us, because on The Sauce, we don't just feed your soul, we set it on fire with truth and love. Enjoy today's episode.
You can't heal what you refuse to acknowledge. Did you know that studies show about 70% of adults in the U.S. have experienced some form of trauma? That means most of us are walking around with invisible wounds, pretending we're fine when deep down we're still bleeding. Okay, so let me ask you something. Have you ever tried covering up a leaky pipe with duct tape? Because I have. It might stop the drip for a little while, but sooner or later, that water's going to burst through. That's what happens when we don't face the hard truths in our lives. We slap that bandage on, and maybe with a smile, maybe it's staying busy, or maybe it's just plain avoidance. But that leak, it's still there. I remember my therapist used to tell me, Royan, what's under the rug is still in the house. And the longer we avoid it, the more damage it does. Now, here's the deal. You can't fix what you won't face. You won't experience a breakthrough until you stare down that thing that's been holding you back, no matter how ugly or how painful it is. Maybe it's that childhood hurt you've buried deep down. Maybe it's that anger you feel towards someone who wronged you years ago. Or maybe it's that quiet fear in the back of your mind telling you you'll never be good enough. Whatever it is, you cannot move past it until you confront it head on. And listen, I get it. Facing the hard truth is terrifying. It feels like standing at the edge of a cliff looking down at the unknown. But let me tell you something powerful. On the other side of that fear, on the other side of that cliff, is your breakthrough. Think about this for a minute. What if David ran away from Goliath instead of standing up to him? He would have missed out on his victory. What if the Israelites never crossed the Red Sea, paralyzed by the fear of what was ahead? They would have never made it to the promised land. Your Goliath, your Red Sea, it's standing right in front of you right now. But the only way to defeat it is to face it. Now, I want you to think, what are you avoiding right now? What truth have you been running from? Is it that unresolved trauma from your past? Maybe it's that negative self-talk you let play over and over and over again in your mind. Or maybe it's that deep-rooted belief that you're not worthy of love, you're not worthy of success or peace. Let me ask you another thing. How long will you let that control you? How long will you allow it to steal your joy, your peace, your purpose? The longer you avoid it, the longer you delay your breakthrough. And here's the truth. The breakthrough is already yours. God's already prepared the way, but you've got to take the first step. And that step, that's facing the truth, no matter how hard it is. Because healing doesn't happen in the shadows. Growth doesn't happen when you hide from the problem. It happens in the light, in the raw, honest truth of your pain. Picture this for a moment. Just imagine you're stuck in a dark room. There's a door in front of you, but you've been sitting there afraid to open it because you're not sure what's on the other side. But here's the thing. You've been sitting in the dark so long, you've forgotten what it feels like to be in the light. That door, that's the truth. And the only way to step into the light is to open the door, face the truth, and walk through it. The thing you've been avoiding, that's your door. It's time to open it. It's time to stop letting fear hold you captive in that dark room. I know it's not easy. I know what it feels like to carry the weight of unresolved hurt, trauma, and pain. It feels like you're dragging around this heavy suitcase full of rocks everywhere you go, and no matter how fast you run, it's always right there. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to carry that weight anymore. You can drop that suitcase. You can open up that door. You can face the truth and finally walk in the freedom that God has already promised you. So here's my challenge to you today. Face the truth. Stop avoiding the things that hurt. Stop pretending everything's fine when you know deep down it's not. Because the only thing standing between you and your breakthrough is the truth you won't face. And remember this, you can't fix what you won't face. And the longer you avoid it, the longer you delay your breakthrough. But when you do face it, when you confront that fear, that pain, that trauma, you find that what was once your biggest obstacle is now your stepping stone to a life of freedom, peace, and purpose. God's got big plans for you, but it all starts with that one step. Are you ready to take it? Don't just listen to this message. Take action. You're one decision away from walking into your breakthrough.
Thanks for tuning in to The Sauce, where faith and real talk meet transformation. If this episode resonated with you, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs it. And don't forget to check out Royanne's book entitled Breaking Through, a Christian's Perspective on a Journey to Freedom from Anxiety and Fear. Available on Amazon. It's filled with tools for overcoming mental health struggles and walking in freedom. Until next time, remember, this too shall pass, but until it does, what you do in the meantime will determine your outcome. So, stay grounded in faith, take care of your mental health, and let God's peace guide you through every storm.